and now my debt is clean. I don't owe anything.
Take Eric's advice.
If you have a tax problem, you need to call Optima Tax now.
Call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922. 800-375-2922.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Papuchona, soy Violín. Oigan, ¿sabían ustedes que B&G Law Firm, mis amigos, han resuelto muchos casos de automóviles? Estos son grandes abogados. Por ejemplo, han ayudado gente a recibir una compensación increíble monetaria por una mordedura de perro, accidente en camiones, resbalones y caídas en menos de 45 días. Sí, por eso es importante que si tú has tenido este tipo de accidentes, llames al 916-545-7772. 916-545-7772. Recuerda que aunque no tengas documentos, tienes derechos. Si tú te resbalaste en una banqueta, en un centro comercial, te caíste, accidente de camiones, accidentes de carro, accidentes de motocicleta, mordedura de perro, llama ahorita a mis amigos de B&D Law Group y ellos te van a ayudar con consulta gratis. Si no ganan tu caso, no pagas nada. Llama al...
It can happen easily. A few drinks become a few too many. It's time to go, and you think of calling for a ride home. Now, what's the worst that can happen? You get pulled over, you lose your license, you totaled your car, you killed someone, drive sober, or get pulled over. Paid for by NHTSA.
With the Peloton bike, you get access to new classes and new artist series. Punch up your power with Peloton Boxing. Work out to your favorite music with 100-plus artist series classes. For a limited time, experience it all with a $550 value off the Peloton Bike Plus, including $300 off the Bike Plus and free setup and delivery. A $250 value. Terms apply.
We're all on this planet together, so join Odyssey and find your one thing. This holiday season, invest in some LED Christmas lights. They use significantly less energy than regular bulbs. Join Odyssey, and together, each of us doing one thing makes a greener tomorrow. What's your one thing?
By texting 64000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Ucora. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. TNC and privacy policy found at ucora.com/TNC.
And I felt like I was out of options. I'm Jenna. My experience inspired me to start Ucora. Just mix a packet of Ucora with water and drink it to flush your urinary tract. Get your life back with Ucora. Get 30% off Ucora when you text HEALTH to 64,000. To get 30% off, text HEALTH to 64000.
I'll make it look easy. The holidays are the perfect time to get a great deal. And for our best deals of the season, check out the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event with winter-only savings on all Hyundai vehicles. Every Hyundai comes loaded with innovative technology and safety, as well as available class-exclusive features, like the Santa Fe with H-Track all-wheel drive for wherever your journey takes you, and the Elantra with huge 10.25-inch touchscreen navigation so you never get lost. Plus, every new Hyundai comes with complimentary maintenance for 3 years and America's best warranty. With new cars arriving daily, it's the perfect time to get a Hyundai. It's your journey. Own it at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Right now, get 0% APR for 48 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days on the 2022 Kona, Tucson, or Santa Fe. See your Sacramento area Hyundai dealer today. For well-qualified buyers only. Offer ends 1/3/22. Call 916-398-3537 for complete offer details.
For only $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And score 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. That's incredible speed at an amazing value. So you can keep new resolutions going strong. Plus, ask how to get $300 back and a 5G phone on us when you add Xfinity Mobile to your Xfinity Internet during the Xfinity Hello 2022 sales event. Don't wait. Switch today. Go to Xfinity.com/sale, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 1/10/22. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply. Compares Xfinity's Connect Internet and Superfast Internet with mobile discount.
Decorations, toys, I don't know what to do. We've got storage solutions to get you organized. You're a lifesaver. And when you use your IKEA Family Card in-store, you can save $15 off when you spend $150 pre-tax or $25 off when you spend $250 pre-tax. Start the new year at your local IKEA for all your storage needs and more. Offer valid 12/26/21 to 1/2/22 in the U.S. Discount applied proportionally across items purchased as shown on receipt. See store and IKEA-USA.com/offers for complete terms and restrictions.
And bring your family to Mount Shasta Ski Park for some mountain adventures. It's perfect for the whole family, whether you're experienced or just learning. Skip the traffic, lines, and crowds and book online at skipark.com.
At Elk Grove Honda, new Hondas are arriving on a steady basis. Accords, Civics, CRVs, and more. And Elk Grove Honda's pre-owned inventory is as large as it's ever been. Find the Honda you're looking for at Elk Grove Honda in the Elk Grove Auto Mall or elkgrovehonda.com.
Don't let rising prices put a damper on your New Year's celebration. Stop by your local grocery outlet and take advantage of amazing deals. Pick up some bubbly with Don Castello Prosecco. 750 milliliter bottles are just $7.99 each. That's a savings of up to 43% versus traditional grocery stores. Also, check out our selection of New Year's celebration items like specialty cheeses, desserts, drink mixes, and appetizers. Stop by your neighborhood grocery outlet today and get the party started. Offers go through January 4th. Grocery outlet, market.
This morning, and did she really live to be 100? Now through Friday, you can explore 5 billion records for free. Just imagine what you might find. Search for free at Ancestry.com/radio.
Let's get ready to rumble! Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton of Big C Sports. This is Charlton of Big C Sports, coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to people who love sports, all fair and level war. What a beautiful December the 30th, 2021. Just another day or two, and then we'll have Happy New Year 2022. All fair and level war. Really do appreciate it. Today's show is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers, home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. When you reach out and test drive yours, just tell them Charlton of Big C Sports Center, as well as their fleet of Cadillac cars. Also, all around the world, just say Google or Alexa. Actually, let me do that the right way. As I say, how many platforms we're on. Really do appreciate that for Big C Sports in 2021, because all around the world, you can follow Big C Sports on 20 podcast applications all over the universe, from Google, Alexa, Spotify, Speaker, Apple Podcasts. You have iHeart-Radio-Podcast, CastBox Podcast, Deezer Podcast, Podcast Addict, and also Podchaser. And yes, I gotta catch my breath. Give me some praise for count to 10. And I did it by speaking in tongues. You don't have to speak in tongues to count to 10. But I'm just gonna try to speak in tongues. 10. How about that? I often wonder when people speak in tongues, what's the purpose of speaking in tongues if people can't understand you? Isn't speaking in tongues for everybody to understand? It's kind of like going to a foreign country and not understanding what they're saying. So all of my religious friends all over the universe, when you speak in tongues that we can understand. You get the blessings. That's just my 2 cents for speaking in tongues. You can also follow Big C Sports on Geo Savon Podcast out of London, England, Podtail Podcast. You can follow Big C Sports on YouTube, Podcast Hubhopper, Stitcher Podcast, Radio Line Podcast, Repod Podcast, Luminary Podcast, Listen Notes Podcast, and also Podcast Wise. Give that some praise. I said give being wise some praise. You gotta be wise. I guess you gotta get wisdom to get some understanding. Give Big C Sports Podcast some praise. You can also follow Big C Sports all around the universe on streaming on 4 TV platforms: Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and a lot of smart TVs all over the universe. Really do appreciate that. Give that some praise. I said, come on, give that some praise. You got to give that praise. 20 platforms. I remember growing up, there was like 4 TV stations. I think it was ABC, CBS, NBC, and then Fox. And then there was also a local PBS station. And I realized technology has made it so possible to have Big C Sports Podcast streaming on 4 TV platforms, from Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, and also Amazon Fire TV. So I really want to say thank you to technology. There's a lot of great technology that's coming for 2021, and Big C Sports will be a part of that. Really do appreciate that. I also want to say, give that some praise too. Give technology some praise. Love paying homage to my family legacy on my mother's side. My great-grandmother, Mamo, just the matriarch of the family, did everything to keep the family strong through thick and thin. And then my great-grandfather, Pop, former Negro League baseball player, known for making the best moonshine in the history of the universe. Known for saying, boy, get out of that barn. No one likes to strike you. It's unfair. Like, Grandpa, what are all these apples in these barrels floating around? And then my grandmother, Mutt dear, she was a seer, could look at people and tell you everything about them. Really do appreciate her intelligence and how she always had this caring heart for a lot of people. And then my grandfather, Hezekiah, another caring person that really cared a lot about a lot of people. My beautiful mother helped start a Head Start program and a food program in Northern California, and also helped win the Little League Championship of the universe. Give Mama some praise. I love giving that praise to my beautiful mother. A Head Start program and helping the Little League Championship, and a food program to feed people. Making sure everybody with the bed, with food in the belly, really do appreciate that. That's just amazing when you think about it. On my father's side, my grandfather, Albert Curry, the patriarch of the family on my father's side, a pastor, had two churches in Oakland, California. Also had built another church in Central California. And then also had 2 service stations in Oakland, California. Really do appreciate how business savvy he was as an intelligent African-American man that had 2 service stations. And oftentimes people would say, well, how did he do it? With all the racism and the garbage that came out of trying to get a loan for a black man to have service stations. And he was able to do it not once but twice. Really do appreciate how intelligent he was able to do things for the whole family. And my beautiful grandmother, Alberta Curry, helping to keep the family together with the churches and also the service station, touched me on my forehead when I was 8 years old in Oakland, said, there's something about your voice, and really do appreciate hearing your voice. I never forget that, those kind words. And then my father, retired Air Force fighter pilot and chief mechanic, he was also making sure the planes could fly high so we could stay safe. Really do appreciate that. And then my beautiful brother Todd with his bombastic voice sounded a lot like lightning when Todd would speak. Excuse me, did I break your concentration? We had our favorite movie called Pulp Fiction. And that stinging sensation that you feel in, that's pride messing with you. Blank pride. If people remember that from Pulp Fiction, if Vin Rames told Bruce Willis that he goes down in the 4th round. And then my beautiful daughter Daisy, a college graduate, 3.5 years with 2 degrees, very intelligent, the most beautiful daughter in the history of the universe. Really do appreciate that. Very smart, but helped me set up with coaches that came up to the West Coast to get their information in the system for Big C Sports. And my handsome son, Malcolm, is a college student. He knows NBA basketball inside and out. He's all over it. Sends me stats on the NBA. Very intelligent, hardworking. Just a wonderful, wonderful son. Really do appreciate him. And then Big C, with all of his knowledge in the past, really do appreciate that. I say, give everybody some praise. Give it praise, praise, praise. Got to count down. I thought it was New Year's today when I woke up. I said, New Year's today? It's not New Year's. Why am I wet? I didn't went to bed. I was wet. I don't know why I was wet. I guess I slept with the window open. It was raining cats and dogs in California. Don't sleep with the window open because in fact, there were some cats and dogs. I was looking at them on the internet. There was a man that trained his dog to go out and bring in towels. He said, go get the towel out of the washing machine, and the dog did it. Just give him the picture. I think it was CGI generated, but yeah, raising cats and dogs. That dog was getting folding the laundry. Isn't that something? Also want to say, paying homage to a man today, African-American man. I love honoring our military, and he got out of a red Corvette, like Prince sang, Little Red Corvette. He got out of a red Corvette today, and I remember just looking at him and seeing, I thought he was maybe 70, but he said he was 80 years old. I said, I love your car. And I said, what military hat is that? He said, I was an airman in the Army. And he's 80 years old. He walked like he was 65, 70 years old. And so I asked him, how fast had he ever been in that car? And he said, fast enough to have everybody stay behind me. That makes sense to you. But I wanted to just pay homage to him because as I called him a young man, but he's 80 years old based on what he told me. African-American man, has a sprite in his step. He walks like he's 65 years old. It was just inspiring to me. I said, can you give me the clue to living to be 80 years old and then you're still able to get down into a Corvette and get out? And he just said, anyway, I won't say everything he said, but he said just being grateful to God and eating McDonald's. That makes sense. He was eating McDonald's at 80 years old. Here I am sucking on lettuce, trying to stay healthy. That good old boy was doing his thing. But I really want to say thank you for your service, and I love giving that out too. I also want to say, when I think about all the things that happen in life, I love the fact that Big C Sports Podcast started in 2015, now going into 2022. That's 7 years. 7 years is 7 days in a week. Isn't that something? 7 years coming up for Big C Sports Podcast. Really do appreciate that. Got my start in broadcasting back in 1998 with the Sports Talk USA, and that was out of Dallas, Texas. And really do appreciate all the growth that's come to Big C Sports because of that. So that's why I say, let's get ready to rumble! Welcome to the show. SB nominated Big C Sports Podcast. Really do appreciate that. No pre-race scripts, no teleprompters, no producer in my ear. I do this show with my higher self, and I love doing Big C Sports Podcast. You try to do it on your own sometime if you think it's easy to do a podcast that's heard all over the world. And whether you make a mistake or not, the show must go on. I love doing the best I can because I love the fact that it's here now. There was a time it was not here. There was a time I used to pretend that I had a show. Now it's there. And I'll never, ever, ever give up. I will produce, I direct the topics, I broadcast the shows, I do the sound effects that are provided by the agency, and everybody needs sound effects in their life at times. And then at the same time, I do the stats providing, the commercials are done through the agency outside of us uploaded out of New York City. The storytelling, I do the play-by-play, but tonight I won't be doing Steph Curry for a three up in Denver because their game has been put on pause by COVID-19. And then I upload the show to the platform. It goes out to 20 podcast applications all over the world. Remember, when I grew up, we only had ABC, NBC, CBS, and Fox, and then there was like a PBS station. I remember that. Now Big C Sports Podcast is on 20 podcast applications and 4 TV applications. I really do appreciate that. Everybody has their own thoughts about how do you do certain things. Well, you just get up and do them. That's what I do the best that I can. And I love even paying homage to the Bible. I was talking to a pastor over the weekend about speaking in tongues, and someone had prophesied over Big C Sports, and she prophesied Isaiah 57, Isaiah 50 verse 7, about some great things that are coming that God has provided, and I didn't even ask her about it. She just told me. But she was speaking in tongue, and I would just ask that for people around the world that speak in tongue, make sure you speak in a tongue that people can understand so we can all follow along. At least that's what I'm trying to do so I can figure it out too. But one of my favorite verses in the Bible is the book of Genesis, chapter 13:15. It says, "For all the land that thou seest will I give you, and thy seed forever." And the book of James, chapter 4, verse 2, said, "We have not, or ye have not because ye ask not." So if you want something, just ask and give the Bible some praise. I said, give it some praise, praise, praise. Imagine if what you really want in your life came true. $100 million. It's all fair in love and war. People have gotten that. Isn't that something? John Gruden got $100 million, and they only gave him $60 million of it. Anyway, I think that's funny. I want to pay homage to the gentleman that I met today, African-American man. He had the wings on his black hat written in gold, and he said that he was part of the Army, and he jumped out of planes. And just seeing him, the way he carried himself with such dignity, he wasn't sagging. His pants weren't down on his ankles like some guys think is cool. I think that's dumb, but a lot of guys think that's cool. It's a dumb look. But that grown man, African American, had his pants up around his waist. He walked around like he owned the universe, because of the way he carried himself and his pride. I wish a lot of young men could see that and realize that he fought for you to walk around with your pants down on your ankles. I'm not saying get off my yard, but hopefully in 2022, my hope is that everybody in 2022 will get a belt. Yeah, put it on your waist and tighten your pants. Give that some praise. Get a belt, pull your pants up, and give that some praise. Okay, it's all fair level war. Maybe I'm just saying get off my yard. But I do want to say, for the Veterans Crisis Hotline, my goodness, they really are experienced helping veterans and their loved ones get help. If you know anybody going through issues, pick up the phone and call 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255. Or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. And I just want to say, give the Veterans Crisis Hotline some praise. Give it praise, praise, praise. We all need somebody to lean on. And they do a lot of leaning on people to make sure our country is safe. And they will stand on their head to make sure you're safe. Really do appreciate that. I also want to say thank you to Xfinity, Comcast TV, and Comcast Spotlight Effect TV for presenting Big C Sports to the universe. Just like in Genesis 1:3, God said, let there be light. Open yourself on the same play, Big C Sports Podcast, and give that some praise. I said, give it praise, praise, praise. as you say, let there be light. Love that very much all over the world. I want to pay homage to our real estate affiliation partners with ValleyHomesWeekly.com, our national real estate show listing real estate properties. Also, for your neck of the woods, the nationalrealestatepost.com, if you want to find out what's going on in real estate in your neck of the woods. Also, mortgage rates are going up. They're saying, the Fed's saying probably by the spring, so that's right around March and April. They're predicting it was going to be more toward the summer, but now it may creep up a little bit earlier than that. So if you're looking for loans, that's a good time to start looking at refinancing or buying a house. But go to themortgagedailynews.com. That's themortgagedailynews.com, and you can find out more about what's going on in the world of real estate. I also want to say, for people that are looking in the world of real estate and you're just trying to figure out what you're going to do for business, everybody has their own opinion about how and what they're going to do to get into the next level of funding. I want to say coming in 2022, the Big C team, for unsecured funding between $10,000 and $400,000 in funding. Funds can be used for any purpose: business startups, real estate investments, repairs or renovations, the working capital that you need that sometimes the banks say no, down payment assistance. You can invest in the stock market, whatever you want to do, student loans. Over 240 lenders that are waiting to fund you for whatever you need. Just got to qualify. And the qualifications: minimum requirements, 650 credit score, $27,000 annual income, no new lines of credit in the last 6 months, and then 2 years of continuous income for helping people that want to get access to money. Sometimes the banks say no, but the Big C team says they have a chance. You just have a chance. What did the gentleman say when he was trying to date the woman in Dumb and Dumber? He said, so you're saying I got a chance. When the woman told him he has like a 1% chance in dating her. And he says, so you say I have a chance. That's the great Jim Carrey. If you want to know more of what's going on in real estate, pick up the phone. Call 800-772-8624. That's 800-772-8624. And give it some praise. The Big C team, looking to get 10,000 real estate agents and brokers all over this country to help people, putting people back to work and financing properties and financing your dreams. It's all fair in love and war. Coming to the Big C team in 2020, all fair in love and war. I want to tell people, when you're out there betting, you never want to bet more than you can lose. Why am I going to tell people that? I don't bet. If the bet's more than $5, I'm not betting. They say, $5, you're wasting my time. But there are guys that will tell you, I got the winning number, Carlston, I got the winning number. All you got to do is put down $100, and then I'll make that $500 if you just give me your money. And I say, if you got so much knowledge on who's going to win, then why do you want to share the pot with me? It doesn't make any sense. And he said, you talk too much. Just give me the money. But I don't do that. Just be careful, guys, when you're out there. Everybody knows the winning numbers. I already bought the winning lottery ticket, so it doesn't matter if I get $5 on a game in Las Vegas. If that makes sense to you. I think that's funny. Could you imagine someone says, hey, listen, man, Carlton, I got the winning numbers to the lottery. I got the winning numbers to Mega Millions and the Powerball. And if you give me $500, I'll give you the winning numbers. It's $400 million. The winning prize for the Powerball is $400 million. And some guy said, if you just give me $500, I'll give you the winning numbers. Would you believe some people gave him $500? I think that's so stupid. But it's the same thing happens with betting. Like, if you know the numbers for $400 million, why do you want to share the numbers with me? You have not because you asked not. Think about that the next time Guido calls you and tells you he has the winning game. Just give him $500 and he's going to give you the winning name. I got the winning numbers to the new Powerball. Just give me $500 and you can win $400 million. Why in the world would he share that? I want to say thank you to Budweiser Zero. It has 0% alcohol, 100% on his game. Sports fans, when you're watching the big game, you want to eat the Big C burger. It's a tasty burger and it comes with trouble, please. What's all these other meat? Remember the lady back in the day, where's the beef? Where's what beef? Nowadays, you can get banned. If they're fighting words, you tell somebody, where's the beef? I'm just silly today. I told you it's raining cats and dogs. I sat with my window open and it got wet. I didn't wet the bed, but water was coming through. Oh, man, life was funny. What's today? I think today is beautiful. December the 30th, 2021. Looking forward to a great new year and hoping that everybody will have a great new year. Some NBA basketball Golden State Warriors and the Denver Nuggets put on pause up in the Mile High City. So obviously we got to deal with that again. I'm going to run down some COVID numbers that have hit since about December 14th up until now. And who knows what's going to happen. Even Bruce Arians is on COVID protocol for the defending Super Bowl champion Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Got some NCAA basketball power rankings. Also, the HBCU football, the high graduation rates for a lot of people that say HBCUs don't have the same kind of talent. Yes, they do. There's a lot of guys that have the talent in the classroom and also on the football field. So I want to give that praise also. And then President Biden got a call from Putin today. And I think they're talking about eliminating college debt for all of people in college who graduate. Isn't that something? $10,000 is a joke. There are people with more than $10,000 in credit card debt before they get out of college. $10,000 is a joke. How about a proposal? You heard it first on Big C Sports. Like we have the Thorogood Marshall College Fund. How about the Big C Sports College Fund? Just a thought to the White House. If you're going to take calls from Putin, how about for every kid that earns a degree, your college will be free? Give that some praise. If you earn a college degree, your college graduation, your college debt is wiped out. Get out! Like the movie Get Out. That would make more sense. We bailed out foreign countries. How about bail out the American college students? I think that deserves some praise. If you graduate college, your college debt is forgiven. That would motivate kids to go to college and not just, play sports, if that makes sense. You get a college degree, your debt's forgiven. It's all forgiven. In fact, if you play sports and you get a scholarship, your debt's already forgiven. Isn't that something? So for college, or football, basketball, baseball, whatever you play, soccer, if you get a scholarship for college, your debt's forgiven because you're helping the program make money. So how about, come on, President Biden, Kamala Harris, you went to an HBCU that I'm going to talk about coming up. If you have $10,000 wiped out, that's nothing. You should not be punished for trying to get a better understanding of your intellectual properties, to develop the mind to its highest level. United Negro College Fund would say a mind is a terrible thing to waste. So it's $10,000. So how about give people the chance to eliminate college debt if they have a college degree, and then make it retroactive back to the 1980s, if that makes sense. Okay, make it retroactive back to the 1980s. Give that some praise. Give eliminate college debt some praise. And I mean that too. Could you imagine? We bail out Europe. Isn't that something? We bail out foreign countries. Give college students who graduate, make it debt free. That's a great proposal. And it should be done. It can be called the New Deal. Isn't that something? I just want to talk about that because there's so many people who are strapped in college, especially if you look at people in the African American community that have always, since 1619, been exploited for whatever reason, for whatever nefarious reasons. And to get a great education is not anathema to being an American. Everyone should have the right to pursue a higher education. But we also know it's difficult when you get saddled with debt. And obviously, for President Biden, it was the black vote that got you into the White House. And it's one thing to say, well, we're going to wipe out $10,000 of debt for those college students. But there are so many black Americans that lined up in droves to vote for you and put you in office in Kamala Harris. And people say, well, reparations is on the table. We know that's on the table too. It's already happened with 82 countries, not for black Americans. But this is something you can really do. It would be that one shining moment that the late, great Teddy Pendergrass talked about. We talk about it for college sports for March Madness when they cut down the nets and they talk about one shining moment. You know, a seminal moment, a sea change in the presidency for the United States is to eliminate college debt for every college kid that earns a degree. I think it was Robert Smith that paid the college debt for some kids that went to an HBCU down in the South. I think he paid out, I don't want to even say the number. I might be wrong about it. I think it was $400 million or $40 million, something like that. But could you imagine if one black man can pay the debt for a graduating class, and I want to say it was Morehouse, but I might be wrong, so beg your pardon if I'm wrong. One black man paid off the debt for college students that graduated. And